Hello, hey and hello from Stockholm, Sweden. My name is Mårten Petersson and I took up the role as the child and school student representative at the Swedish School Inspectorate last year in November. For me, the rights of the children and students to receive the support you need to develop and feel good are fundamental in such democracy as in Sweden. We have a school law in Sweden that clearly points out the rights you have as a child and a student. The Child and School Student Representative, BO as we call it, and the Swedish School Inspectorate are tasked with monitoring this. My function as a child and school student representative is about standing up for children and students' right to safe and violent-free environments. We work with cases relating specifically to offensive treatment. I am also able to lodge compensation claim on behalf of the pupil and represent them in court if the school authority refuses to pay compensation. We are also doing lobbying against offensive treatment and bullying. And we give information and lecture at, for example, the University for Teachers and Principals. We regularly collaborate with other authorities and organizations. The message from us is clear: zero tolerance against violations. Absolute ban of violation against staffs. The responsibility lies within the school authority, not with individual teacher or employee at the school. Just a brief, concrete description of how we work on BO. We can have an indication of a possible misconduct of offensive treatment in our database on the web portal. I have a team that reads the data and makes an assessment of whether a case should be started. That in the light of the law's requirements, of course, but also in the practice of what we build in the office. Many issues that come to us are quality issues. This of an educational or communicative nature and not a legal question and matter for supervision. If we start a case, a lawyer will be tasked with investigation of possible offensive treatment. What is offensive treatment in the school law? The school law says a conduct which, without discrimination under the Discrimination Act, violates the dignity of a child or a pupil. Here we can say that the bullying, so to say, is divided on the Discrimination Act and the School Act. And the School Act, where I work, for example, it's about physical attacks, attack with words, or psychic attacks. For example, exclude someone from a group, and online abuse. The online abuse must have a connection with the school, of course. The Discrimination Act is about ethnicity, disability, sexual harassment. And therefore, it's within the mandate of the Swedish Discrimination Ombudsman. We have regularly discussions with the Discrimination Ombudsman, which one of us who shall act in the case. Some statistics, offensive treatment the last year. We have to the BEO and the Swedish Schools Inspectorate 1,500 notifications that come to our web database. Mostly it's about primary school, and the primary school in Sweden is between 6 years and 15 years. About half is about staff violations, half is verbal abuse, and half is about physical violations, just students to each other or from staff to student. 2/3 boys and 1/3 girls. Our experience also is that children with neurological disabilities are overrepresented in matters with us. However, we don't have and keep any statistics on that. Here we have during the years, 10 years, the notification that comes into BEO. We have the increasing curve there is probably is about that the knowledge about offensive treatment has increased. Then it's a little bit breakdown from 2017-18. We haven't analyzed what that's about. We can see a corona effect in the end. So the years ahead, we have to see the development. We have an online survey for students, pedagogical and guardians in Sweden. So far, 2.5 million survey responses between 2010 and today. The survey has claim form with fixed answer options. In 2020, 8 out of 10 in year 9 students reported feeling safe in school. That means that 2 answered, I don't feel safe at school. But the change over time has gone in a negative direction, especially in grade 9. It has decreased from 89% 2010 to this year 79%. Safety is also related to how students experience schoolwork. Here's a response from year 9 students. Safe students report completely different perception of schoolwork than those students who say that they're not safe in school. What the connection looks like does not say in the picture, but there is obviously connection. This figure thus describes that insecure students constantly have more negative experience of school. For example, regarding their own influence over teaching, study environment, and much more. Here we can also get a picture of a problem that precedes violations. That students who feel unsafe or insecure do not find schoolwork interesting and too difficult. The background to this is not improbably lack of adaptations and special support in school. So what can we do about this? How do we stop offensive treatment? Our experience is that it's important. The BEO and the Swedish Inspectorate's experience is that it's very important to regularly reflect in order to create a common approach to violations. For example, answer the question, what does zero tolerance mean? Ask the question, what are the perceptions of what is okay or what is not? Create a consensus around this in the staff on a school. We also see train the staff on the obligations arising from Chapter 6 in the Swedish School Law. After all, abuse and bullying are often a consequence of the fact that teaching has not been adapted for all children. What support do I need as a teacher to adapt teaching for all students? How do we ensure that children in risk zones receive the special support that they need? There are lots of questions that has to be told at the local school. Then we all know that situations that arise can become extremely pressured and stressful. To be a teacher today is a very qualified occupation. It's sometimes quick decisions from teachers. It's crucial that the principal and, for example, the the staff of the health team have a regular dialogue with the teachers so that teachers feel the support and security with the child and the student, always the best interest in focus. Teachers and principals need to signal a consensus to all peoples at the school. Children quickly see through us adults when we don't stand for the same things. Then we adults become unpredictable, and the children do not know what's expected of them. That means that someone don't know what we adults want them to do. Clear and high expectations of children and students are, as we know, a strong success factor in all education. It's often also about the physical presence of the teacher, but not at least the mental presence of the teacher. BO and Swedish Schools Inspector sees that teachers are often left alone in the classroom with the problems, and they are not helped by the school providers or the principal. They are too alone in the classroom with the problem. They need support to thus prevent, for example, violations from occurring. Teachers work in environment and conditions to pursue the profession often need to be strengthened. We see it all the times when we visit schools. That was all for me for now. I'm looking forward to the Q&A after my colleague Magnus' presentation. Thanks for me.